Well, it will go down in history as one of the most popular sitcoms ever. And this Sunday marks the 30th anniversary of Friends' US TV premiere.
3 decades on, it seems that Joey, Phoebe, Chandler, Monica, Ross and Rachel are just as binge-worthy now as they were back then. Six besties, 10 seasons, 236 episodes, and infinite laughs.
Pivot! Pivot! Pivot!
Friends was famous for its relatable characters, unforgettable looks, and those iconic catchphrases.
How you doing?
Oh my God.
We were on a break!
With each passing decade, a new generation of fans feast on the outrageous scenarios.
Then raspberries, more ladyfingers, then beef sauteed with peas and onions, and then a little bit more custard. What do you think?
I think I can see your scalp.
And, of course, this musical interlude still lives rent-free in our minds.
Smelly cat, what are they feeding you?
Steering the show for its entire ride was co-creator and executive producer Kevin S. Bright, who, with heart and hilarity, helped bring our favourite Friends to life. Oh, we love that show so much. We say hello to the genius himself, Kevin S. Bright. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too. Art, hilarity, and let's not forget my two partners, Marta Kaufman and David Crane.
Yeah. You know, you see that slide come up, you go, okay, remember all of that. There were long discussions about which best bits to put in the opening package, just because there are so many. Do you have a favourite?
Well, you got a lot of them in there, and actually two of my favorites. The one where Joey puts on all of Chandler's clothing is absolutely at the top, and the other, Joey's my favorite character, so the other great Joey moment is when Joey eats Rachel's trifle, which you saw the trifle in that opening too.
You didn't have one of my favourite bits, which was when Ross's teeth go glowing white when he's on the date.
Yes.
That was particularly hilarious, and actually how a lot of people look these days when they go a bit overboard with the teeth whitening as well. Very forward thinking, that one. Look, the show continues to be incredibly popular. Did you have a sense back then that Friends would still have such a huge cultural impact 3 decades on?
No, you know, I mean, if we were going to have a sense of things like that, we might have invented the internet or cryptocurrency or, done some other things, on top of Friends. But we did know at the time that the show was special. We had no idea that, 30 years later, people would still be loving the show. And I don't think anything could make us happier than that.
Well, if you patented the name Moodeng, you'd be pretty happy about it.
Good point.
You're a co-creator, executive producer, and even directed a few episodes. Take us inside the studio on recording nights, because it just looked like a party to us. What was it like? Live studio audience there, got the instant reaction. It must have been a heap of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We had 400 people at each show, and there was a big warm-up, and pizzas were given out. It was like a big party every time. And, the thing that's a little bit dangerous about it is it's kind of like live theater. When you're doing the show in front of the audience, if the joke doesn't work, you know right away. So that's when the superhero Friends force of writers comes into play, and they fix things right on the set when they don't work.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was exciting for the audience watching a joke bomb, and then watching the writers get together and all, wow, new joke, great joke. Okay, next.
Incredible. I have even more respect for the fantastic people involved. Now, let's talk about the final episode of Friends. It was emotional for everyone at home watching, but for all of you, it must have been so intense.
Well, it's that mixture in show business where everything is very emotional while you're doing the show. People, especially for the actors, knowing what was coming was very difficult for them. But there wasn't a lot of sensitivity on the studio a lot, because there was that well, this show is done. We got another show to put on that soundstage. So as soon as we called wrap, literally they started tearing down the set around us. You know, all of us sitting, you know, sort of huddling in Monica's apartment, figuring they won't get us there. But literally, we finished. So there wasn't a lot of time for grief. We had to get out of the way.
Yeah, oh, that's okay. Now, there's been a lot of sadness since the passing of Matthew Perry, of course. What we want to celebrate what a great comedic actor he was. Can you take us back to the set and talk us through what he was like to work with?
Well, you know, as my partner David recently said, he was the funniest person in the room. And having that advantage as one of your stars of your show, his innovative and physical comedy, you know, you had something to rely on to save the scene somehow. That somehow he would figure out a way to throw himself over something or do anything he needed to do or come up with a line. Matthew was an incredible actor, incredible comedian.
Yeah, a tremendous loss, but what an incredible legacy he left behind. Just like the gang, we're going to put you through a lightning round quiz now. We're going to ask you a question and then we'd like you to answer as quickly as possible. So here we go. First off, who is your favourite character?
Joey.
Who was most likely to lose it and laugh during a scene?
Lisa.
Oh. Is it true that one of the lead actors didn't have to audition for their part?
Yes, true.
Who?
You know which one? Ross.
Right.
Okay. When Matt LeBlanc...
The part was actually written for David Schwimmer. We had worked with him on another pilot. And when the script was written, we thought immediately David Schwimmer for Ross.
Oh, that's a good one. That's interesting.
Why he was so perfect for the role.
Yeah. When Matt LeBlanc famously slipped and dislocated his shoulder on set, what was your first thought?
Oh, shit.
Hang on. We're just going to have to get our comedy writers in and have a look at that.
One of the best supporting actors in TV history, Maggie Wheeler, is a regular, of course, on the show. Was there ever talk of a Janice spin-off series? We saw that hilarious shot of her on the phone earlier.
You know, I think it would have spoiled Janice, actually. I think Janice was always written as something that was so big that you needed her in small doses and you needed a long time between appearances because the next time, every time she walked onto that stage, it exploded. So I think if you had 100% Janice in a show, you would have one exhausted audience. That's...
Now, how will you be celebrating the 30th anniversary apart from swearing on morning television in Australia?
Well, I had a feeling you might be asking that. So, you know, I like to say it's 12 o'clock somewhere.
There you go.
So I'll be celebrating with some fine California wine and friends.
Oh! You can't open that. You can't open that.
I've been saving it for the 30th. Come on.
Tonight's the night. Lovely to talk to you. That was really fascinating. Thanks for your time today.
It was, and thanks for everything, all the humour you gave us over the last couple of decades. It's been brilliant.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the wine.
Have a great show.
Thanks.